Ethan had always been a meticulous man, one who thrived on control. His life was a well-oiled machine until one night, an unusual event shattered his routine. While walking home, he witnessed a strange celestial phenomenon, a sudden eerie stillness, as if the world had paused. Unbeknownst to him, this was the moment he had gained a rare and disturbing ability: to freeze time. At first, Ethan was skeptical. He tested his newfound power in minor ways, stopping time to fix minor annoyances, such as rearranging a stack of papers or taking an extra few moments to finish a book he'd been reading. The thrill of controlling time was intoxicating, and soon he couldn't resist pushing boundaries. Ethan's interactions with people, however, took a darker turn. He began to manipulate situations for personal gain, using his power to win at poker games and gain unearned promotions at work. His wife, Claire, noticed his increasingly erratic behavior, but dismissed her concerns as stress-induced. One particularly tense evening, after a major argument over Ethan's increasing absences and secretive behavior, he decided to teach Claire a lesson. In a fit of anger, he used his ability to freeze time, planning to rearrange their home to make her question her sanity. As Claire remained frozen mid-gesture, Ethan began his macabre experiment. He moved items around the house with grim satisfaction, leaving unsettling traces of his actions. Family photos were replaced with distorted, eerie versions. He scribbled cryptic messages on the walls in red ink, mirroring the type of sinister handwriting he'd seen in old horror movies. He even rearranged the furniture into disturbing patterns, as though staging a grotesque scene. Each alteration was meticulously calculated to unsettle and confuse Claire when she awoke. Satisfied with his handiwork, Ethan unfroze time and waited. Claire awoke with a start, her confusion evident as she saw the strange changes around her. She hesitated but decided not to confront Ethan about it, choosing instead to investigate the disturbing changes on her own. The following day, Ethan noticed Claire's growing unease, but couldn't understand the full extent of her reaction until he saw the message on the wall that had appeared after his manipulation. "I see you." The handwriting was undeniably his own, but Ethan had no memory of writing it. Panic set in as he realized he had not only left clues for Claire, but had also unintentionally exposed his secret. Desperate to undo his actions, Ethan attempted to use his power to reverse the sequence of events. He froze time, trying to erase the changes he had made, but found himself trapped in an endless loop. Each attempt to alter the past only solidified his entrapment in the nightmarish scenario he had created. The walls of his own home began to close in, each iteration revealing more grotesque details he had not initially placed, as if the house itself was punishing him. Claire, meanwhile, grew increasingly distressed. The unsettling atmosphere and cryptic messages made her fear for her sanity. She began to avoid the house, spending more time away and becoming distant from Ethan, who was now a mere spectator to the horror he had unleashed. He watched helplessly as Claire's trust in him crumbled, knowing he was responsible for the creeping fear that had taken over their lives. Ethan's power, which had once been a tool of control, had become a cruel curse. Trapped in the loop of his own making, he was forced to relive his actions over and over, unable to escape the consequences of his malevolent manipulation. The very thing he had sought to control now controlled him, leaving him eternally ensnared in a nightmare of his own creation.